Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo. I just rushed in the door all the way from dirty Jersey, where I was working about an hour ago. Flew out the door, left that set, got in the car, came all the way over here, through Jersey, through Manhattan, all the way through Brooklyn. And I made it, parked the car safely, went upstairs, kissed the girls, came downstairs. And now I'm here with you guys, ready to kiss you all with some football nonsense. So get ready. There's some nonsense for you. There's some nonsense for you. And for all of the Stoop crew, our Stoop vampires, very good to see all you guys in there. Who do we have? Anders, Bono, Ben, Arizona, Director John, of course. Who do we have? Ben Ireland. Did I see Ben Ireland in there somewhere? Cool. Yeah, there he is. I don't see it on here for some reason. But good to see all you guys. Bandy Fornaski asking already who is our sponsor tonight. And Bandy, you should love this. I saw a tweet earlier today about somebody from Manchester City going to Swindon Town, and I was like, clearly they're going for Swindon Town the musical, right? Why else would anyone from Man City be moving there? Anyway, Bandy, made me think of you while I was busy working today. Big shout out to Black Ink New York. That's a very cool show out on VH1 that I was just working on. But the whole crew from the New York guys, tattoo artists, badasses, they were a lot of fun today. Anyway, we're here tonight to talk about the transfers that could have been, but weren't. So get all your thoughts out there. Who do you wish your team would have signed? Who are you so happy transfers didn't go through? I see one fellow over here wearing a Liverpool kit, who maybe a lot of you Arizona fans, Leeds fans, including you, Ben, Arizona Leeds. You guys are happy that the nonsense of West Ham putting in a bid at the last minute for Calvin Phillips and Raphinha for like $100 million pounds. Ugh, nonsense. But anyway, we're going to get into all of that. We're going to forget about the transfer window that's done and think about the transfer window that could have been. So don't forget, before we get started, please do the holy trinity of YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, the share button. Blasphemy, blast for you. Drink. Yes, Father Jack. Because it is now February, so I'm allowed to drink again. Speaking of nothing, that's a terrible intro, but let's get the show on the road by bringing in my lovely co-host. You know him, you love him, here every night with right alongside me. Everybody give it up for Mr. Mark, the Wolves fan.
You made that picture behind you, huh? You make that?
I did make that.
Yeah, did you make that?
Yeah, I did.
You put Neves and Raphinha in red, you motherfucker. What were you thinking?
They were all in red.
What were you all thinking? Huh, except for Jesse Lingard. Free Jesse Lingard. Nobody freed him. What happened?
I didn't have time to actually put the jerseys on, so I just found whichever ones I could find, and then I made the whole thing, and I was like, fuck, they're all red. They're all
Damn
no.
Damn you. How many of the Stoop crew are offended to see Raphinha in red?
You should be. You should be. They should be flooding in right now, saying, how dare you?
You know,
and the Wolves fans should be as well. So don't yell at me.
Is it like such a letdown when you, or a relief when you hear of Raphinha and Neves, Calvert-Lewin being like, oh yeah, they're linked to this squad. You know, they're gonna go play for them. It's gonna be a loan with an option to buy, or it's gonna be a straight up. Or they're going to trade you an ice house in Minnesota and some stripper money. I'm not really sure. But is it like this massive letdown or this big relief when you're like, oh. Or do you get pissed?
For me? You're talking about for me as an Arsenal fan?
Or just as a fan in general when you read these things. Like, for instance, Alexander Isak. Going to Arsenal. There was rumors of that. I bid on that because that sounded so good. Neves
Yeah, and
going
he was
to God
spotted in
knows who
London. Blah
else.
blah blah.
West Ham making double bids on Raphinha and Phillips. Can you imagine how that went?
Yo, to answer your question, as a football fan, I am so happy that Ruben Neves stayed the fuck put, and that you and I, on that show, on the Football Terrace, when they were like, when I said, why the hell would Ruben Neves go to Arsenal? Why the hell? We are their direct competitors right now. They flipped out because clearly they watched their
they
club.
seemed convinced. They seemed
Yeah.
convinced that they were going to get. Oh well, it's the model for the Wolves, and this is the one that I absolutely loved. The model that is Wolverhampton is not sustainable, and so they have to sell all their stars for whatever they can get rather than what Leeds did. And they were like 50 million for Calvin Phillips. Go fuck yourself.
I was exactly,
it
man.
makes
Mark,
me
I was
wonder.
so proud of you and I. I was so proud of you and I in that moment because I was like, I'm clearly the only one who has watched more than one Wolves match this season. Fuck off.
I'm sure
off.
you've watched 3. I don't even think I've watched every Wolves match.
With the Raphinha of like, all Liverpool has to do is make an offer. And I was like, you don't actually watch Leeds United or follow them. So stop thinking you're a huge club. Maybe you are. But that's not what everything's about. Once again, this is a World Cup year. Raphinha goes to Liverpool and he doesn't start every match. Mark,
Raphinha,
he plays
no,
in
he
Salah
doesn't. You're right.
Mane's position.
You're right. I was thinking Phillips.
You know what? We actually have a Liverpool fan here today. So why don't we bring on this Liverpool fan? And he can tell us, if Raphinha goes to Liverpool, does he start and where does he start?
No, he doesn't.
So let's bring him on. Chris, Dirty Jersey. I could have picked you up along the way and brought you here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the late night show. And Chris, by the way, we're so glad to have you on this 10 p.m. show. These 10 p.m. shows were created with you in mind, my friend. We need more Chris here. So I'm glad we got you here on this.
He's as good as he is. He's a rotation player because he has Salah's position. Plus, you got Luis Diaz competing for time as well. He's probably the heir apparent to Mane on the left. Yeah, he probably doesn't start. I think if we don't re-sign Salah, that could be a rumor that gets revisited in the summer. Either him or a similar player, Anthony at Ajax, the other Brazilian. He also scored today. But no. I'm glad Leeds kept both of those guys. I kind of think West Ham, that was one of those, they told Leeds, like, we don't expect you to accept this, but we need to do something to appease our fans because we haven't gotten anything done. So we have to look like we're trying to do something big.
So it's all for show.
I think so.
So if 50 million was a ridiculous lowball offer,
I don't think it's a lowball offer.
What do you think that they would? What would they say?
No. 50 million wasn't, Mark. 100 million for both?
No, it was. They were separate. They were separate bids. It was
They're
almost like,
million.
you're like Jimmy. You're like Jimmy on the corner. Hey, how much for that Raphinha guy? Huh? No. What about Phillips? What about him? Come here. That's
all right. Listen, come here. Give me Raphinha and Phillips. I'll give you 100 million pounds, 2 Clementines, and a Lucy.
Yeah.
How about that?
I think Leeds knows that they could get.
Hand to my mother. I'll fucking stab you.
Who's Lucy?
A Lucy.
Lucy.
Or Lucy, my niece. You can have her too.
Let
me hit some of these comments. We got a bunch of Arsenal fans in here asking if this show can only be about Arsenal. Sorry, that was
yesterday.
But good to see you, Tony Turner.
The
BxGunner,
Wolves fan was
Ray.
like cornered.
Stan the man, good to see you guys here. Hit up those comments. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. Hit the share button as well. Even if you have like two friends on Facebook, doesn't matter. Hit the button. It means something for us. Let's get these late night shows packed. And for Tony, I see that you need some Just for Men for your beard. No. Because if you cannot be a proper Arsenal fan if you don't have premature gray hairs. And you know when I started getting these? As soon as I started following Arsenal.
Obviously, I'm a Wolves fan.
You're a Wolves fan, longtime Wolves fan. Chris is actually starting to grow more black hair. He went bald being a Liverpool fan for so long. But now he's got like a full black beard.
Yeah, winning has brought the hair back. Yeah, no. I wish. I think Leeds knows.
Listen, guys. Chris, your internet is a little spotty. You're a little frozen.
Let me.
Like your club. I don't even know what the joke is there. But guys, let me ask you right now.
He was fine.
I thought he was fine.
He was fine. I think
you're.
Let
me see if
I hear everybody perfectly.
Chris, I think you're good. You're good.
I see Chris frozen right now. But everybody else,
he's live with me, man.
All right, so I'm going to
wearing
go on
his
that.
Detroit Tiger hat.
Maybe that's slowing him down. The Detroit. So let me ask you guys right now. Let's think about it. Out of all the things that you were linked with, or even players that you weren't linked with, what is a wild transfer that actually could have been this transfer window for you? Like, I know Wolves weren't necessarily linked with a lot of players, but you know what positions you need to fortify. Liverpool, I actually think Liverpool had a fairly decent, you brought two guys in, but they're two quality guys, right? And you lost nobody.
No, they missed out on a transfer at the end because they dropped the pen.
We did though is we got Nico.
I'm reading Tony's.
Nico Williams on loan to Fulham, and I think that's going to be like a trusted handshake to sell us Carvalho at the end of the year. He wasn't going to play for us anyway. He was going to get loaned back, and maybe more than once. He's really young. I mean, I'm so happy with Luis Diaz. That was completely unexpected.
Yeah.
It felt the same way when we got Jota.
So,
that was really unexpected. It just felt good. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So who would be for Liverpool, Chris? Who would be like this dream player to get? And I'm not talking like, oh, Kevin De Bruyne. We love Kevin De Bruyne. He was never up for fucking sale. I'm talking of the people that, maybe like for Arsenal, for me, I was secretly hoping that we would get Gini Wijnaldum. I thought he would be a bigger answer to a lot of the issues, even before a striker was necessary. What we needed was a central player with some experience, some silverware behind them, a calmness to him, but can still ball. That's what I was more interested in than splashing 70 million for Isak, Calvert-Lewin, Vlahovic. So that would be for me. For me, the one that I was most upset didn't happen was Gini Wijnaldum for Arsenal. So what about for you guys?
You want to go first, Mark?
I'm going to make it short and sweet. Being a mid club that historically, at least as far as I've been following them historically, like the last 3 years, Forsen doesn't like to pay. They don't like to spend money. They like to make a profit. And so with that very poor business model, at least in my mind, that Traore going to Barcelona pays for He-Chan and puts a little coffers in their pocket. If anything that they did during the transfer window was they recalled Totti Gomez from Grasshopper. That's in Switzerland?
BX.
I don't know. I have no
these
fucking
Arsenal
idea.
fans are absolutely nuts right now. BX says he's upset. No Wilshire. Ray says it's Partey and Xhaka forever. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. So
Sure.
Totti Gomez, right?
Yeah, man. So
He's in, right?
He played very well for Seist while he was in the Africa Tournament of Nations, whatever it's called. That little tournament, as Pep likes to say.
Klopp.
Which I have no idea. Jurgen, sure.
I love that you just disrespected so many people right there, and you're like,
no
"Fuck 'em."
idea. I'm talking Wolves here. That's my squad. So that allows things to get a little deeper because they've been wanting to move Seist to the midfield just to see what he can do.
Yeah.
So like in a Dendoncker role. So that whole left side of the field is kind of pretty deep right now. We did pick somebody up. Chris, you were talking about him. Chiquinho?
Yeah, from Estoril in Portugal.
He's, he seems pretty good. I mean, he could fit in like in a Trincao sort of way. I thought we were going to give him back.
I don't want to know what happened. I want to know, who do you wish?
I wish
would
for
really
nothing.
Feel
I'm the Dalai Lama.
Happy.
I wish for nothing. I'm happy with
what
that we
Arteta
did.
Confidence.
You know, Traore paid for Hee-Chan, and that's money for later. And we have, it's as if we had a window and we spent money because we've got Neto coming back, Hee-Chan coming back, Mosquito coming back, Johnny coming back. I mean, we're gonna get deeper, and no one's gonna really know. You know,
so Mark,
it's gonna be like the 70th minute, and like Hee-Chan's gonna come on against Arsenal, and then a couple of weeks later, I'm not sure who we play, but Neto's gonna come out, and they're gonna go, "Wait a minute, you had Neto? I thought you sold him 2 years ago."
Oh my God, Neto's gonna be a new signing. Neto's going to be like a new signing. That's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah. So what did I want? I wanted nothing.
That is
I wanted us to do exactly what we did.
And that is why I fear our next match, because you are coming in with that sort of confidence, and maybe Arsenal is as a team, but as a fan base, we definitely are not. In the comments, guys, don't forget, put in the comments, who do you wish would have happened? And I'm not even talking about the things that were close. I'm thinking like, come on, get it out there. So Bandy says right here for Leeds United, Daryl DK or Daryl Dyke or Divock Origi for Leeds United.
I just got to say it.
Both would have been fantastic pickups.
Daryl Dyke, he's from Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just went to West Brom.
Right. I just feel compelled to say that every time that we mention his name, is that he played for Orlando. Don't know why.
Just because you know?
Yeah.
My dream transfer would have been a new owner. Spot on, BX. Spot on. Fucking Stan Kroenke. Lolo manages to steer this back to Arsenal. Sorry, but that's what's in my hand. Chris, on to you.
You know, I wish we would have. I mean, didn't need to be January, but we were rumored with a couple of box-to-box midfielders in the summer. So like Renato Sanchez from Lille or Florian Neuhaus from Mönchengladbach. Like I don't think Thiago's going to be on the team for that much longer. I think he's looking for a move. Henderson's getting older. I don't know if Naby Keita is a starter, like a guaranteed starter when those guys move on. Ox is honestly, I'd kind of want to get rid of him, and Milner's getting pretty old too. So I think we need a high energy midfielder. I would have liked to have seen that in January, but I guess that might be something we address in the summer.
Mark, are you hearing everything that he's saying?
Yes.
I'm hearing nothing.
You're hearing nothing?
Yeah, he's frozen, but you're not saying anything, so
He's
assuming
fine.
I hear
I'm
everybody
listening.
else perfectly fine.
You know,
I'm just gonna
listening. I mean, I'm just
StreamYard doesn't want me to
hearing.
communicate with
I
him.
am hearing someone speak of their team that like there is all these issues, and like, yeah, plug that hole, plug that hole, plug that hole. I wish I could be talking that way about the Wolves and go, oh yeah, we could really use this guy. I'm like, stand pat, man, stand pat. I don't care what we do, we're good. You know, we finished awesome. 13th last year. We're in 8th now. I don't know.
Yeah, but you guys,
I think.
If you think about it, though, this year, let's say you finish 7th. That's top 7, 3 out of 4 years.
Yeah. I don't think that really matters much anymore. In my mind, it's just like every season's a new season.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
I don't know. I think most recently promoted clubs would love to have the experience Wolves have had, because even though last season was a setback and there were some injuries,
hey,
like
yo, everybody talking about my internet. Okay, I'm probably the only one actually plugged into the internet. The weird thing is, I hear Mark completely fine. I hear John completely fine. It's only Chris that it just sounds like he's choppy. But if you guys can hear him, just let me know
Chris,
what he's saying.
I want to ask a question from that we talked about last week.
You translate for me back to Lolo.
I will do that, much like Marcelo Bielsa's translator. So yesterday we talked about Donny van der Beek going to Everton, being courted by Crystal Palace as well. Did he choose the right club? Because I think he would have been better suited at Palace rather than Everton.
You gotta think Donny van der Beek is looking at it as both the teams are kind of in similar positions.
I wasn't asking you. I was asking Chris.
So, I mean, it's pretty even. I think so. You look at Palace. You've got what's his name, Gallagher's. Is it Gallagher? Who's a guy on loan from Chelsea? He's playing a bunch. Essays coming back.
He's awesome, but he will go back to Chelsea.
Yeah. But this year he's kind of got that spot down on lock. You know, he probably plays a little bit. I don't know. He looks like a player who I think could thrive under Lampard, because his style of play, at least at Ajax, was a lot like Lampard's, coming in from deep and providing goals and providing creativity, not from like a number 10 position, but from a further back position, moving kind of like the last person in the attack. So I don't think Everton gets him if Lampard's not there. Maybe he does choose Palace.
Right. So Palace, Lolo, you catch that? No. Is he still frozen? All right. He said that
no. I hear him like.
Okay.
I tried a new tab. I opened a new tab, and here we are again. So, Chris, can I hear you talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're not frozen anymore. Okay, good.
Fantastic.
That's just so weird that it's only one person that it wasn't working with. But so you said he wouldn't play for Palace? You said he didn't start for Palace?
No, I think he gets a decent amount of playing time for both. I think Lampard being the coach is probably the deciding factor, because I think Van de Beek at his best at Ajax played very similarly to Lampard, and maybe he thinks he can get that kind of boost in his career. Although Patrick Vieira was a great midfielder too, the coach at Palace. So,
but I think you're totally right that was the difference. So he's looking at it as, I can probably work my way into either club and get more play. I will definitely get more playing.
He doesn't have to worry about Gylfi Sigurdsson taking his role this year, at least.
Are we allowed to make jokes yet about, like, do we know what's no?
I don't know.
But I think it came down to who Who do I want to be mentored by? Patrick Vieira?
That was perfect.
It
Perfect
was absolutely perfect. Patrick Vieira, Lampard, and he chose Lampard. He didn't choose Everton. He chose Lampard. Let's remember, guys, he's on a loan. They are bringing him back to put him right back in his place, which is over there on the bench. So who is he going to learn the most from?
I don't think it's a matter of learning. I think it's the same thing as Traore, where he wants to get, watched by his national team.
I do think, even if they're comparable,
because at this point he's not playing for him.
Everton, I think, will still be a little more of for a player from like a brand perspective. Everton's probably still more of a draw than Crystal Palace. I don't know if that weighs into the thinking at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't, but it probably does.
Yeah. Well, Bandy just mentioned we haven't seen the Magic 8 Ball for a while, so let's ask it. Did Donny van de Beek make the right decision in going to Everton? It says signs point to yes. Signs point to yes. So there you go. We have it. The Magic 8 Ball said it, and it did predict that Fat Frank would be fired. So it was right about that.
I think that Magic 8 Ball is strictly for Frank Lampard related questions.
Definitely. Guys, I know we've been chugging along in the show, and I had some technical difficulties, but we cannot forget that we do have sponsors these days, and we have to talk about our sponsors. So let's go ahead and see. We are so famous these days, guys. We have numerous sponsors that we give credit to, and we do huge commercial campaigns on our website. You should go there and see them. But some of them we don't even know about. Those are our mystery sponsors of the day. So, Director John, who is our mystery sponsor of the day? On the Stoop mystery sponsors. Hold on, Lolo. It gets weird from here. Uh-oh. In the new Premier League Variety Pack, you can collect all the other 19 Premier League clubs. We have Human Tears from your favorite rivals support groups. It looks like we have Tottenham Tears, we have Chelsea Tears, and we have Arsenal Tears. And what is it?
I don't think we have any Liverpool Tears.
Enjoy the saltiness.
Because Klopp had his tear ducts removed when he got the Lasix.
I'm surprised the Arsenal bottle's so small.
That's just John. He's choosing. He chose
It's just
right.
the camera angle.
Because BX says he filled a 2 liter alone. Enjoy the salty goodness of human suffering. Oh man, yeah. The operators are standing by for your orders, and don't forget to go to supportersteers.com and put in the promo code on thestupidlolo.com. Humantears.com. Put in the promo code on thestupidlolo.com, and they will have no idea what you're talking about. But if we do enough, we may get sponsored by them for real. Send a bottle of Chelsea Tears to Najee. Oh, he has plenty, Bandy. Okay, guys. Let's talk about who else do we have here? Jesse Lingard. Lingard's shin guards. He was going to do the Donny van de Beek dance.
Free Jesse.
And say, okay, fine. You're not going to let me actually leave.
Without
but they didn't even let him go on loan.
Making it easier for other teams to pick him up. And I don't really understand this obsession with keeping someone who you clearly don't want in the long run.
Right. Didn't they have with the interest that Crystal Palace, or not Crystal Palace, but Newcastle had, they were like, yeah, 15 mil if you stay up.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was just kind of the survival clause. I thought that was a little ridiculous.
I think every once in a while maybe they're trying to like flex muscles to make them seem like the large club that they've been historically, but like they just look like kind of pathetic in my mind. And I'm saying that pure, with all bias of being a Liverpool fan, but I come from the point of view of this is a player who is he's not for long at that club. He's kind of in his prime years. He wants out. Like I'm like a pro player person. I'm upset when someone who wants to get out, who's not being played, can't get out of the club.
I mean, that's Manchester United's entire issue is the Pokemon club that they are of hoarding young talent and not having a clue what the fuck to do with them, and then going out and splashing cash for Ronaldo and Edison Cavani when it's like, wait, so do you want all these young guys here? You want all this young talent to do what? Like, what are you doing with Jadon Sancho besides ruining his career? What are you doing with Jesse Lingard, Donny van de Beek, besides ruining their careers? Because where is the outlet for them?
Well, I wouldn't say that they're ruining their careers as much as they are maybe retarding them.
Absolutely.
Retarding
Good use
their
of the
career.
word. Thank you very much.
Where it's like they're being held back in a bit that, Lingard, what is he? He's 29.
I don't know.
Not a lot of years left in that boy
buck anymore.
And it's different because
he's not. He's like 28, 29 years old.
Lingard's like a United youth, right? So part of it's a little bit different because I think early on he wanted to stay on to prove himself. But I think this has got to be like, at some point there's got to be a lesson to some of these kids that maybe Van de Beek makes that jump too soon. Maybe Sancho makes that jump too soon. Because what ends up happening is, remember that what happened with like Memphis Depay at United, and it took him a while to refine his career in France, and he's kind of back on the mend, but you end up getting these these big contracts, and if you're not playing, you become really difficult to move because no one can afford your salary. Like you have to be on, like you get put on successive loans to different teams. You don't find any chemistry because no one ever loans you to like the same club for 3 years. It's right. I'm going to do half a season here and a full season there. And the term you use, Mark, is actually perfect because like you're never getting any consistency as a player. You're 25 and you've had 5 coaches over the last 5 years.
Right.
Exactly.
It
can really impact, maybe if a Van de Beek or a Sancho stay a little bit longer, or they go to I don't know if there's really a step between Dortmund and United. That probably would have been hard for Sancho, but from Ajax, I think you can go to a slightly better club before you go to a United or a City.
Well, I mean, are we? I think a lot of this is holdover of years gone by, where if Manchester United come calling, you answer and you go. If Real Madrid, if Barcelona, if even Arsenal, the Liverpool, clubs like that come calling, you go. But nowadays, I feel there's so much more parity in football of, like, for example, going to Atletico Madrid as opposed to Real Madrid, going to Leicester City as opposed to one of these traditional Big Six clubs could mean more for your career than going to Manchester United.
Well, I mean,
as opposed to 10, 15 years ago. You know what I mean?
I mean, you do see more of that now, but it's tough when you're at like Ajax and Dortmund are very big clubs in the leagues that they're in. I think it's hard for someone to go from Dortmund to Crystal Palace, for instance. Like the folks that have been successful at that. So you take like a Raphinha going to Leeds came from Rennes in France. Like, had he been at PSG, I don't think he makes the move to Leeds.
Yeah.
Rennes did make the Champions League. They're a good team. They always develop youth really well, but it was a plausible move where had he been at PSG or someone like a Juventus, like he's not going to make the move to Crystal Palace. They're only going to want to. They're going to circle maybe 10 clubs across all of Europe that they're interested in playing at. The problem is if everyone wants to play at those 10 clubs, not everyone's going to get game time. And if not everyone gets game time, you have basically Donny van de Beek's wasted a year and a half of his career.
Right.
But then they don't stop buying players. They've already got wasted players, and they just don't stop buying.
You got to remember, like, it's still, in some cases, good for that team to keep players off of their rivals. Like, it's kind of like how we think of, like, how Alabama recruits, like, all the 4- and 5-star high school kids. They only play, like, 10% of them. Well, if I keep this kid off of Georgia, or if I keep him at least out of Georgia.
That's where I was. That's been my thinking, where it's just like, we can pay for him. We have the funds. We can pay for him just to keep them off of Wolverhampton, Arsenal, Liverpool, Leeds.
Look at what Chelsea does. Chelsea has they call it like their lone army. They have like 40
but they're going to have to stop doing that, right?
Yeah,
but the rule is actually, it seems like it's been written for Chelsea. It's just like, this isn't working anymore because
they make a lot of
diluting. You're diluting the league. Is what
they make a lot of money doing that.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we hear from Najee all the time.
Yeah,
our books are straight.
It's a great business, but you can't do it. There becomes, and this is what, like, one of the whole thing of, like, the unfair advantage that I've looked at the Premier League and said, it's just like, a Burnley can't do that.
Yeah.
They can't stockpile players like they did for a while, and then we're just going to loan them out. It's not feasible for these smaller clubs, and it's kind of unfair because, like I said, Chelsea just is like, oh, you got good with this guy. We took him back. You suck now.
It's almost like you don't want unless you're trying to get promoted or whatnot. Like, you almost don't want your best players to be the people you have on loan, because if they become essential to how you play, you almost can never get them back because they did too well. And, then the club either wants to sell them for a fee you can't command or just play them.
Right.
Like, I do think there should be more more rules about how many people you can loan out.
Yeah. Well, guys, as a lot of people are pointing out in the comments, the show ended 10 minutes ago. And it did. I know. Quickest 30 minutes in football talk where we don't really talk about anything. And then we finally get into it. And it's time to go. But, guys, this is what we're doing these days. So we'll be back again tomorrow at 10 o'clock again. And listen, if any of you guys want to actually join in on the show and be Mark and I's special guest, like Chris here, hit us up in all the comments section on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that, or on Happy Hour. You guys can join us there. But if you guys want to continue the conversation, nobody wants to go to bed yet, please go to onthestupidlolo.com. We have a chat room there. Fucking set that up. Talk to each other. Talk football. Create an Arsenal group there. Let's do it. And let us know what you guys think tomorrow's show should be about. And Gary, be on time next time. But Chris, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you come on many more times for these late shows. And Mark as well. Thank you very much. Sorry we ran over a little bit.
That's all right.
I'm finally calming down from my long trip here. And hey, 2 shows in a row where we didn't really talk about Leeds. The Leeds fans are not happy about this, but nothing has happened. This is also a boring
They're
week.
sleeping.
going on. So, but thank you guys so much in the comment section. Please hit the like button on your way out. Hit the share button. All those good things. They all matter for the channel, and they all keep us here doing what we do. Oh, yes, and go to humantears.com. I don't know if I should be promoting that website. That's probably a real website, which will get a lot of traffic tonight. But thank you, Director John, for all the hard work you do as well. And yeah, peace from Brooklyn, everybody.
Bye, guys.